Welcome to the regular season finale here of this first year in the realistic RTG. We find ourselves in the playoffs, but at risk of falling out of the playoffs if results don't go our way today. 5 very difficult games on the horizon as well for this final episode. Local rivals Stevenage, local rivals Northampton, I said Newport. Fleetwood Town away from home is always tricky, in real life especially because of their horrendous pitch. And then top of the table Bolton and playoff chasing Portsmouth as well in the playoffs with us Portsmouth on the final day at home. It'll be really, really tough. We're going to simulate the games against Stevenage and Fleetwood, and then we will play Northampton and then obviously the top 2. In fact, Fleetwood are slightly higher in the table, so I might be... Now, we'll play the local derby against Northampton. We'll play the local derby. You'll see the league table there on your screen. We are currently 9 points, inside the playoffs. However, everybody around us has at least 1 game in hand. 2 in Bolton's case, although rather evidently we're not going to be catching Bolton at the top of the table, but it's going to be a bit of a squeaky bum time. We might find ourselves needing points in those last 2 games and not too sure whether we're actually going to be getting them. Thank you for all of your feedback in the comment section over the past few episodes. As you well know, I record a few episodes in advance when I can, and we've just seen all of the feedback with regards to what to do with a certain New Zealander, Alex Greive. Massively popular with you guys as a player to bring in. We do have the financial, that's the wrong spreadsheet, we do have the financial capabilities to bring him in with our current wage budget sat at £8,000 remaining. So we will look to bring Alex Greive in now and spend that money this season so that we can factor that out of next season's finances. So I'm going to do that immediately, and he will join us at this stage and may even, who knows, have an impact at the final few games of the season. We're saying thank you to those of you on the board behind me as well for your continued support. Saying thank you to Up the Dons, to Callum, and to Catty Master as well. Thank you very much for all of your support. Do drop the video a like if you're enjoying this save and looking forward to, hopefully, some playoff football over the next couple of days. Do make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on Season 2 when it comes. Hit that notification bell. Please come and join me on stream as well and watch it live and have your input in the moment. Links in the description, of course, to the Twitch channel and to the YouTube streaming channel as well. Alex, come and join us, mate. 2,500 to 3,800 is the recommended wage from the chief executive. I'll ask for rotation. He'll probably want important. He will be an important part of the squad next season, so I'm quite happy to give him that. We won't go for a massive deal. He's 24 though, so we'll go for quite a long deal. 3 years is what we'll offer him, and 3 years is what he will accept. Now, recommended wage 3,100. I will try and get him for 2,900, and we'll see what he says to that. He should sign that, I think. 2,900 is a decent wage for a player of his capabilities, and he is happy with that reasonable offer. Alex Greive, seemingly a very popular signing with you guys in the comment section, joins the club. He is in this season finale episode. Will have a massive impact to play next season, but who knows what he'll be able to do in the remainder of this. You were very keen on me adding kind of Commonwealth players to the domestic list for Leagues 1 and 2 in our transfer policy, so we will look to utilise that moving forward, and of course bear in mind where players are currently based or have been based if they're free agents, which is what we did with Alex Greive. We saw that he had been based in Scotland, which initially is why I put him to you in the first place. So we will put him onto the bench, I think, ahead of Barden. We don't need a goalkeeper on the bench, really. So he'll come on, or come into the fray, and fingers crossed we can now go and get a result against Stevenage in this first simulated game of the day and get ourselves 3 points. Welcome in, sir. We've already seen you join the team once. We don't need to see it again. Sekou Janet doesn't agree contract terms with MK Dons, which is intriguing. Stevenage's starting lineup sees Aaron Pressley up top. A narrow 4-1-2-1-2 for them. James Wilding on the right-hand side of their defence is a play we have used at Cambridge in previous saves. And we lose the first game. A local derby at home. Aaron Pressley gives Stevenage a 3-2 win. Forster Kasky, Thompson and Pressley nullify Lancaster and Ahadme's goals. What did we say at the end of the last episode? I want to fumble 9 points. I've got a bit of butterfingers, I think, at the moment. Psychogenic agrees to go to Fleetwood instead. We saw that contract terms broke down between him and MK Dons, and he's decided he wants to go to Fleetwood instead. Zach Jules is now available for selection again. I say again, it's the first time he's actually available for selection for us, but we'll whack him on the bench because his sharpness isn't great at the minute, although to be fair, he might start ahead of Zeno in this next fixture. We have Fleetwood Town, who he's Psychogen has just agreed contract terms with. This is going to be the other Sims game of the day. They've got Jaden Stockley up top, who's dangerous. Boys at left back is decent, although slightly fatigued at the moment. And this is a slightly tired side at the moment. We'll put Faye up top. George Thomas can go in there. We'll put Kachunga out wide. In fact, I'll move Kachunga central because he's slightly faster. Zeno will come out for Zach Jules and Cousins for Adam May. The rest of the side should be good enough to get the result over the line. And indeed they do. George Thomas brought into the starting lineup, bags a goal. Soleil Kai came off the bench for Brophy and bags one in the 78th minute to give us a 2-0 win against Fleetwood. Big result for us, that, on the back of the defeat in the last game. Means we head into the final few, currently still with an 8 points gap back to Charlton, but still continually everybody around us has a game in hand. So join me in the next one against Northampton, where fingers crossed things will be slightly more straightforward for us in a played game than they have been of late. Actually, whilst we're on our way, let's do the first question from the pressers from you guys in the comment section, which is rather apt considering he's now available for selection. Zachary Brazier says the signing of Zach Jules is a record transfer for the club. However, his current injury won't see him make his debut until the end of the season. He has now just made that debut, of course. How can you justify such an outlay for a player who isn't able to make an instant impact on the team? The justification is that we were bringing him in with the future in mind. He was coming in to kind of replace those that are going to be going out next season. It was us preemptively making the signing, spending the money we had free this year in our budget to ensure we don't waste any remaining transfer budget as we move into the next season. So it was one with next season in mind, and if he got the chance to play for the remainder of this season, then he will do, and he has become fit again, so he will now play for us. Cambridge have signed a few players of late in recent years who have been injured at the time. George Thomas came in with a lot of injuries. Fajiri Okunabiri came in with an injury. There are a couple of others that came in as well who were unfit at the time of signing and took 2 or 3 months to get themselves into a position to be available for the first team. So it's a trend that the club kind of put faith in players they believe have the quality regardless of what their current injury status is. And Zach Jules is just another example of that. Northampton in 19th place in the division, which is a surprise given the strength of their side. As we mentioned last time we played them, they've got some particularly good players. Sam Sherring at the back is really strong. Will Hoskins on the left was 70 rated last time we saw him. He may well be higher rated, yet still at this stage of the save, and probably if they... well, they're certainly going to finish in a not very good position, Northampton. Will Hoskins is going to be available for a number of championship sides, I imagine, next season. Julia Leshy on the bench again for Northampton here, but not featured at this stage. We will throw George Thomas back out on the right-hand side, considering he played very well out there last time. Soleil came off the bench and scored a goal in the last game. We'll hope that he can do the same again. And considering Okadina is set to leave us, and Zach Jules is the player we signed to replace him, even though he's slightly lower rated, we will throw Zach into the starting lineup. And to be fair, if you look at those stats, it's a surprise that Zach is as lowly rated compared to Jubbs as he is. It's clearly just those defensive stats that are making the difference at the moment, but we will train Zach in that area over the next few weeks at the end of this season, and hopefully we'll have him up at Jubbs' level very, very soon indeed. So the first played game for Zach Jules here, although he has played a couple for us already, and fingers crossed, we very much need those 3 points, so let's go and get them. Into Haynes, down the line to Sam Hoskins, not Will Hoskins, as I mistakenly previously mentioned. Showing my age, bringing up Will Hoskins, I think. James Brophy intercepts that, and we've got support here, and Lancaster has the option out wide. George Thomas has the option out wide, and Bennett can lift this, and Gassan is there, and Sherring's in the way. Would have been a brilliant opening goal had he been able to get the shot away to find that bottom corner. Bennett Lovely ball into Lancaster. Oh, and what a challenge from... I think the referee's given a penalty. I can't quite believe it. Oh no, he hasn't given a penalty. And that's why there's such noise from the stands. I did wonder why the Cambridge United fans were kind of head in hands, wondering what the hell had happened. What the hell had happened is that we didn't get a pen. But that's the correct decision. It was a strong challenge, but it was a very, very good one. And particularly fair too. That's lucky. The shot is rubbish. That's probably the first highlight you've seen in the 36th minute. It's been a cagey game so far. Very much so. A lot on the line for us, and it shows. Half-time stats say 1 shot. And that's it. It's been that kind of game thus far. Northampton dealing with everything I'm trying to do. And we've dealt with everything they've tried to do. So, I mean, a point... As long as the points tally keeps ticking over, then we hopefully will be fine. But we are going to have to keep the points tally ticking over, because if we lose all of our games remaining, then we will be in significant trouble. Apperet back to Hondermark. Hondermark forward to Apperet again. Seems like a bit of a physical striker there, doesn't he? Quite sizable there, number 9. Although, I guess I am kind of measuring him against James Brophy there, which isn't necessarily the fairest of comparisons for Brophy. Northampton still trying to find a way forward. And here is Hoskins. Standout player for the club. And standout effort for the game so far, but saved by Stevens. I put the episode out yesterday, maybe, I think it was, asking for your guys' player of the season votes. And we will have a player of the season and, well, basically an awards ceremony episode at the end of the season. Alongside, obviously, a goal of the month competition as well. But no goals to speak of in this particular game thus far. So for the time being, certainly not going to have a nomination from this one. Oh, if that makes it down the line, we're in a good position for a solid attack. As it happens, it's been cut out, and now we might be in a little bit of trouble. Zach Jill's going to come across here, but can't get to it. Haynes drops the shoulder on George Thomas, and still Northampton come forward. Sowerby to Apperet. Apperet with a number of options, including Sowerby again, but Digby's going to step in. Strong challenge from the big man. And Digger will look for the ball over the top for George Thomas, but it is a poor one. And such has been the nature of the game. One team attacks and fails, the other team attacks and fails. This ball inside, and Fox, I can't get there with Jordan Cousins. I can't get to here with Apperet. Shooting on goal, of course. Jack Stevens in the way. I think he might be my player of the season, Jack Stevens. We certainly would be nowhere near where we are in the table without his goalkeeping expertise this season. Sam Hoskins now into the box. Brophy with an excellent tackle. Thomas tries to break away with it, but can't. But Fox can only give us the throw. So we'll be forward to Hoskins. I didn't anticipate him just driving straight towards goal, actually. And we've missed the challenge. And we don't pay for the mistake, thankfully. Jack Stevens, again, the man in goal for us. Guthrie on for Hondermark for Northampton here. That ball comes in, and here's Ben Fox. That one, a bit more straightforward for Stevens at his near post. One that you would expect him to make, rather than be super impressed that he made it. Brophy just gets that away. It's Adam May on the counter-attack. Alex Greive is here with me, who does have pace. Rather reluctant to make a run, unfortunately. Still not on the same wavelength as his teammates, being a new signing. Doesn't know what sort of run to make, what sort of movement to use when certain players are in possession. It's going to take a little while for him to bed into the group and to become a key part of the squad. That's a lovely through ball and a gorgeous little finish from McWilliams. Northampton might well have won it in the 87th minute. Their captain leading by example, dinking it into the back of the net. And continually we're looking over our shoulders, aren't we? He's made a mistake, used a hand. Right, this is the chance. The only chance. Well, no, play on! Oh, I don't care if you're going to send him off. He's just scored the winning goal, probably, Sean McWilliams. And now he's got himself a red card. I wanted to play on, though. I was on the... Oh, it's a horrendous challenge. I wanted to play on. Is that a tactical challenge by him to waste the time so that we don't get the chance to get an equaliser? Probably so. Unbelievable, Jeff. taking one for the team there, Sean McWilliams. Gave them the goal and then gave them the reprieve of our counter-attack to earn them a 1-0 win. That could be giant in the fight to stay in the playoffs. Peterborough win. Didn't see a Portsmouth result there. Still very nervous about not sealing a playoff spot. Penultimate match day of the season against league-leading Bolton Wanderers. They're missing Budvarsson, one of their two strikers, or main strikers, through injury. But Dion Charles and Collins up top will certainly be good enough to do a job. They are, I think, already champions. I'm purposefully not looking at the league table, both for you guys on the VOD and for live stream as well, to try and build the tension for the final part of the season. Intended to have the second question from the presser in there before that game. So in the tunnel, for a tunnel interview before kickoff here in this one, James Noob asked, Jack Stevens has been in brilliant form between the sticks so far this season, as you saw in that game against Northampton. Do you see yourself being able to hold on to him when transfer bids come in this summer? I fully expect him to have some interest in him, and as per the rules of this save, if a bid comes in from a side that we could realistically understand Stevens wanting to go, or perhaps even forcing the move, then of course we will accept the bids. We don't want to lose him, but we understand the nature of the club at the level that we're at. We are, and you always really have to be with the financial situation at clubs at this level, a selling club. If the right bid comes in, everyone is available for the right price. Hopefully nobody pays it, but time will tell. Fingers crossed he could keep a clean sheet here at Bolton and get us over the line with regards qualifying for the playoffs this season. Here's Collins and Charles backing in. Collins, good block by Jules. It falls to Charles. Sometimes you get to the top of the table and get promoted because you're good enough. Certainly feel like they are, but sometimes you need that stroke of luck as well. And when you're having a good season, things do tend to fall your way. When you're in different form, things tend to fall against you. Both of which manifesting themselves there after just 4 minutes here at the Tough Sheet Community Stadium. We're 1-0 down. Collins, I read that. It's not a foul as far as I'm concerned, but the foul is given and they will take it here. Aaron Morley probably going to look to go for goal perhaps from here, or they're going to lay it off. I think they're going to lay this one off. No, Morley is going to go for goal. Right then. Okay. 8 minutes in, 2-0 down. If that was scored by us, goal of the season. But that's just ridiculous from Aaron Morley. What a crazy free kick. From such a long way out. Just 0.1 expected XG. 26 metres out. Unbelievable. The first goal might have been the luck. The second goal was the quality. And that's why they're top of the table. And probably at this stage, champions. Goal difference may be important at the end of the season. So continually trying to keep them out and not just crumbling and folding here could be very important. Only losing 2-0 might be what keeps us in the playoffs at the end of the season. Sheehan in the box to Collins. He'll wind up for the shot. We'll wind up for the shot. And we'll score it. Bolton are just quite simply better than us. And it's not the first time we've said that this season. We have ourselves a bogey team, gentlemen. Into Gassan. Through the gap looking for Brophy. Now he's got the angle here. He's got support inside if he needs it. James Brophy. Gassan. Blocked by Almeida Santos. And kept in play by Cogley as well. Well, there's our only chance of the game so far. And it didn't really go that well, did it? Broke in behind nicely, but didn't quite have the angle to go for goal. Nor the angle to get a pass in either. Bloody Bolton, I swear to God. It's going to leave us probably needing something against Portsmouth. I'm just glad we don't have Bolton in the playoffs, because otherwise I'd absolutely be staying in League One this season. If we lose against Pompey as well, we might be absolutely staying in League One anyway if we don't reach the playoffs in the first place. It's going to be 3-0 Bolton at half-time here. Might be 4-0 Bolton. Exactly the same position, or very, very similar. Is Morley going to go for it again? No. Dinked in. Almeida Santos. Good save by Stevens, half-time. Ruiz, nice turn. Intercepted by Brophy nicely. And Gassan will lift it, looking for Soleil, who's in behind here, and hopefully away from the defender, racing as fast as he possibly can. To miss the target and not kickstart our revival in this fixture. It's got to go in. We stand any chance of beating a side like Bolton, it's got to go in. Collins brilliantly through the gap to Charles. He's just twisting and turning, and oh my lord! Playing Bolton is harder than playing Tottenham in the Cup earlier this season. We played a pretty strong Tottenham Hotspur side in the Carabao Cup, lost by 3-0, and I felt more competitive than I do here against Bolton, and felt more competitive in that game than I have done in any of the games against Bolton this season. Gassan, around the corner maybe. That's a shit pass, pal. Oh, the Olays are coming out from the home fans now. That's how easy they feel that they're finding it here today against us. Collins. Mate. 4-0 Bolton. And all of the goals have been so good. We are getting pumped. Dano, thank you for the follow, mate. This is probably what would happen every week in the Championship. Unbelievable goal quality. It's just crazy. Charles backs in, spins, shoots, scores, 5. Everything goes in. I am really worried about goal difference now as well as the points tally. Bennett. We'll look for George Thomas and find him. Who will look for Fajiri, who scores one back. That's a great header for Fajiri Okanabiri. 82nd minute, it's 5-1. A little bit of something. Let's not celebrate it though, shall we, gents? I'm trying to skip. Bloody hell. Worth watching again though, to be fair. Excellent ball in. And a fantastic header. Goal of the month level calibre of goal. But probably not goal of the season category. It's just all Bolton still. Collins, here comes the 6th. No, he's missed the target. Unbelievable, Jeff. For the first time in the game, it feels, they don't score a goal when they shoot. Fajiri's up for this and wins it well. Another consolation goal would be very, very welcome indeed. Can we get it? We even get the chance, maybe. Trying to come forward here. Digby, not really anywhere to go. Lancaster found. Fay turns well, accelerates well, runs into the defender. If I'd have turned around to look for a pass, the whistle would have gone anyway. The whistle goes now. Regardless, Bolton 5, Cambridge United 1. We expected to lose the game. Nobody could have predicted a 5-1 defeat, nor the quality of their goal. That was... all 5 were some of the best goals anyone has scored against us in the entirety of the save so far. All 5. It was unbelievable. Into the final game of the season then, at home against Portsmouth, desperate for something. As we're about to head into the final game of the season, let's have the final press conference question of the season. Colts fan says, with you being a relatively new manager, pundits are wondering if the decision to prioritise wing play in the 4-2-3-1 formation is a permanent fixture, a la Maurizio Sarri playing 3 at the back no matter what, or are you open to adjusting the formation and or play style based on squad availability and or opponent, similar to Carlo Ancelotti being flexible with formation and play style? I tend to be more of a manager that has his favoured style of play and formation and sticks with it and looks to build a squad that can play that way. I don't necessarily have much of a plan B, but I've always been of the opinion that if you play to your strengths, then other teams will have to adapt to you rather than you having to adapt to them. Stick to your core principles and you will succeed. We are trying to stick to our core principles here. We will find out in a few minutes' time whether we've succeeded or not. Portsmouth in 4th place, 4 points above us. We don't know where that leaves us in the table. Will Norris in goal. Pert Harris, who's a player that was recommended by you guys as one of the young up-and-comers that we could potentially look at when we had that in a presser earlier in the season. Bishop up top, 70 rated apparently, according to their attack figure. 2.5-star team, one of the best teams in the entire division. Patron player Ben Bessemer starts at centre-back. They're missing Swanson through injury. William Brofs, excellent footwork as well. Kachunga, Jordan Cousins. Here's Adam May now. Lancaster making the moves. Jordan Cousins found. Here comes Liam Bennett on the overlap. Alex Greaves in the middle. Numbers in the middle. He's going to find Brophy here on the edge of the box. The touch is poor. He goes down there. It's probably a foul. Lancaster trying to find something, someone to pass to in the box. There's just no room for any intricate passing there, nor do I have the space to go for a long shot either. Zeno had to get to that. Did so. Bennett down the line. Lancaster in behind. Cut this back to Greive. Greive with options. Options including Jordan Cousins. There's Brophy out wide. Rafferty intercepts well. We've started on the front foot. We're being positive here. We're looking to go for it. We know that a win surely sees us in the playoffs, potentially to play against Portsmouth. We shall find out in due course. And if we can beat them here today, then surely we'd give ourselves the confidence that if we do have them in the playoffs, we can beat them there too. Quick 1-2 here. Greive. Brophy. Tackled. Just can't get past their defensive line at the moment. Morel. Gilvey goes for a big switch. Danny Andrews should be underneath this and is so well. Greive to Elias Kachunga. Try and play it about. I'll ask Brophy to go for the run, which he has done, and space, and lots of it here in behind for James Brophy. Needs the support. Here it is. Alex Greive scores his first goal for the club with the first shot I've taken with him. Welcome to the fucking Yellers, mate. Cambridge 1, Portsmouth 0. He's arrived. He's here. Alex Greive. Looking for the run of Danny Andrew over the top. It's an excellent ball. Lofted into the middle. Greaves down. Brophy. Oh, slightly wide. Another good move. Unfortunately, failing to double our advantage. Elias steps in well. Kachunga. 1-2 with Greive. A 1-2-3 maybe. Alex Greive. Will Norris. Huge save. Lovely ball into Lang. Lovely tackle by Bennett. Still it falls for them. Still there forward. Thank you. Little dink to make sure Lancaster gets to that. She should do. And does. Space for Brophy. Come on, Bros. Lovely ball. Lancaster. George Thomas. Oh, great save. That was destined for the bottom corner. And somehow Norris has gotten down to it. That was a brilliant stop. Well in, Adam May. Trying to just press high. And keep them out here. Keep them going backwards and sideways so that a 1-0 lead isn't threatened in the final few minutes. But here they come. Gilvey. Lang. Still trying to force them backwards and sideways. Lang again. Lancaster. Backwards and sideways, lads. Don't let them come forward. We've defended for our lives in that game. We've absolutely no idea at this stage whether that is or is not playoffs. Shall we go and find out? There are no fixtures remaining this coming season. As it stands, anyway. Ready? I'm a little nervous. We are, despite the fact everyone else still has a game in hand on us, we are guaranteed playoffs. Not only that, we are guaranteed 5th spot as well, because Peterborough can't catch us. We will play Portsmouth in the playoffs. In tomorrow's episode, or is this Friday's video? This might be Friday's video. We will play Portsmouth in the playoffs on Monday. That'll be worth waiting for, won't it? Oh, God. The relief. The absolute relief. 13 games drawn, 13 games lost, but playoffs assured for Cambridge United. Not, however, for Peterborough. With Charlton breathing down their necks a point behind, they could still get the result to send them into the playoffs ahead of them. When is that final round of fixtures? Is it in May or is it to come at the end of the month? It's in May. Peterborough have 4th placed Portsmouth away from home. Charlton have 8th placed Oxford away from home. Both are horrendously difficult fixtures. Barnsley trying to get themselves... Sorry, no, Derby trying to get themselves... Christ, no, yeah, both of them. Both of them fighting... Wow. Barnsley versus Derby on the 5th of May will decide who gets automatic promotion. Second play third. What a tie. Well, I don't know why the end of season fixtures are all over the place and they're not all being played on the same day as they should be. At the bottom end of the table, Cheltenham are confirmed relegated because they've played 46. Carlisle can save themselves. Burton can save themselves. Technically, mathematically, Port Vale can save themselves as well. Although, Exeter have 2 games in hand to try and get the point they need to nullify Port Vale's attempts. Christ. Okay, well, I'm going to go and sort my finances out. We'll advance to the end of the season in terms of the league and then show you exactly what's happened. Intriguingly, Gassan has said he would like to make it a permanent deal. I've asked you in a previous episode about what you think we should do with Gassan. As I record this, that video goes out in a couple of hours' time, so I haven't seen your feedback. But Gassan says, hey Gaff, I'm not sure what's going to happen now, but I wanted to say I've really enjoyed my loan spell at the club. I hope we can make it a permanent deal. Gassan Ahadme would like to stay at Cambridge United. Depending on what you guys have said in the comment section of that video a couple of days ago, maybe Gassan will be coming back. He would like to make it permanent. The question is, did you want to make it permanent? I will find out in real life in a couple of hours, and you'll already know. So we know that he wants to stay. Still, I'm getting absolutely no realistic loan bids for Job. However, we did get a realistic loan bid for Joseph Fagus, who's going to go out on loan to Tranmere in League 2 next season for the year, and hopefully grow very well. Well, we've reached the day of the playoffs, so that is where we will end this episode for today. The squad has had to grow a little bit. A couple of youth players said to me that they were going to leave if I didn't call them up. So Ibrahim Rose has now joined the first team. He is a big, thick, stocky boy at 18 years of age. He's going to be probably quite good, actually. We will loan list him for next season. And also Liam Lee has come up too. He will be loan listed as well and probably will ultimately be the Elias Kachunga replacement, Liam Lee. So I'm probably going to loan him next year, but we might well recall him at some point if we feel like we need a new cam. Ibrahim Rose is actually the only centre mid, out and out centre mid at the club. He's got tiki-taka and slide tackle as play styles, even though his slide tackling is only 37, but he looks pretty decent. And then Liam Lee has flair for him. Ball control is good, dribbling is good, free kick accuracy is good, as his volleys. And physically he looks half decent as well. So hopefully both of them can be pretty decent longer term. They won't be in the first team immediately, but certainly January season 2 at the very earliest might be when they get themselves recalled from loan and back into the starting lineup, or if they don't go out on loan anywhere because nobody wants them, then they'll start to be featured. They've been added to the spreadsheet with regards our playing staff, so my wage budget remaining currently is £4,252. We have now had our prize money for finishing 5th in the division, £1.643 million, which has gone into our wage budget, overall balance, which now stands at 2.871 million. Meaning, with everything set here as is correct, our transfer budget next season would be £861,454. But we've potentially got more money to earn via the playoffs. So there might be a slightly bigger budget next year if we're lucky. We shall wait and see, but we don't know what division we're going to be in at the moment. All we know is right now, we might still potentially be Championship. That is all for today's episode. Thank you very much for watching. Do drop the video a like if you've enjoyed. Subscribe to make sure you don't miss out on the next one. Hit that notification bell and you definitely won't. It's going to be a big one. I'll see you in the playoffs.